There's a marvelous story where her portrait is probably the most striking of all the portraits in the White House of First Ladies. Just extraordinary. Just grabs you. And it was with the collie, the white collie, Prudence Prim. Coolidge was the president who ended the custom of, he loved the Sequoia, the presidential yacht, and he would go down to Mount Vernon. Of course, they shoot off a salute, and he halted that practice because it made Prudence Prim bark, and because all those bullets cost a lot of money. But anyway, there's this wonderful picture of Grace in this striking kind of flapper dress, red on red. You know, you may have seen the portrait and the white, you know, and the artist was complaining about, you know, about something about the color scheme, and so he suggested, well, you know, reverse the order. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, make the dress white and the dog red. But anyway, you were about to ask a question.
You said that he blamed himself for the death of his son. By what rational process did he reach that conclusion? Because
the death was a result of Calvin Jr.'s playing tennis on a White House court, raising a blister which became infected and blood poisoning set in. And had Coolidge not been in the White House, Calvin Jr. would never have been on the White House court. It's not rational, but it's a testament to the lifelong, you know, grief that he felt over the loss of the boy. Yeah.
How did he get from Vermont? How did he get from Vermont into Massachusetts politics?
Yeah, he went to Amherst College, and from Amherst he decided that he was going to practice law. So he went over, you know, neighboring Northampton, apprenticed, and the rest is history. He was mayor of Northampton. He was city solicitor. He was state senator. He was state senate president, lieutenant governor, vice president, president. I mean, it's just, you know, for someone seemingly bereft of the normal political gifts, I think he held more offices than any American president. Yeah.
What kind of relationship did he have with Harding, and what did he think of him? And is there a biography of Calvin Coolidge in the works?
No, but there are some. No, there are some. God, let me finish Rockefeller first. There are some good biographies of Coolidge. There are some also very bad ones, but Harding. Well, it's interesting. You know, Harding tried to be. For example, Harding saw to it that Coolidge was the first vice president who attended cabinet meetings. Now, he never opened his mouth, but he was there. There's the wonderful story. Mrs. Harding, on the other hand, did not care for the Coolidges, but she wouldn't have cared for anyone. There was a bill introduced. There's a mansion in Washington, it's still there, in Northwest Washington, and it was going to be turned into a vice presidential residence, long before, of course, the old naval property. And Florence Harding said, I'm going to get that bill killed. You know, a hotel suite is good enough for those Coolidges. Well, they lived at the Willard Hotel. And the story, true story, there was a fire in the Willard Hotel. And everyone was, of course, you know, summoned out of their rooms, and they all gathered in the lobby, and the Coolidges, you know, like everyone else. And Coolidge was, you know, an impatient man, and he waited a while. Everything seemed okay. And he went, you know, he started back to the stairway to go upstairs. And the fire marshal said, wait a second, who are you? He said, I'm the vice president. He said, oh, okay. And Coolidge said, wait a second, vice president of what? He said, I'm the vice president of the United States. He said, get back here. I thought you were the vice president of the hotel. Yeah.
Why did he choose not to run in 1926?
1928, just to be a pedant. I think he wrote about it in his memoir, his autobiography, which is, I recommend without reservation. If he had run, he almost certainly would have won. That's not in doubt. Then he would have been president for 10 years, longer than anyone else. And Coolidge had this very appropriate sense of, of things. And he said, I come from the people. It's a good thing, I look forward to returning to them. And, this whole kind of minimalist, modest view of the presidency, which is so different from what we see today. Now, it has been said, and Mrs. Coolidge has been cited as a source, although it also has been disputed, that she supposedly said, "Papa smells a depression coming." There's no evidence really to support that. I also think he was ill. He had a heart condition. He'd lost his son. He just lost his father. I think he was eager. The burdens of the presidency. This was not a man with real reserves of energy to draw on. This was not Theodore Roosevelt, who also died at 60. But anyway.
Richard, I noticed you never mentioned anything about religious affiliation like that.
Coolidge was steeped in Yankee, homegrown, democratic Congregationalism. He joined the Congregational Church in Washington, in Northampton. He attended the Edwards Congregational Church, and Congregationalism, among other things, is highly democratic. It's a church without hierarchies, and it's very decentralized, very localized, and it's the town meeting principle applied to religion. I think Coolidge was a very spiritual man, and I think it's so easy today. We're so cynical because we hear this kind of rote talk about God is dragged into every political campaign. He almost becomes a spin doctor. But I think when you read Coolidge and you learn about Coolidge, it was real and it was understated and all the more authentic for being so. That's a good question though, Ralph. I'm glad you asked. One more? Oh, okay, we got two more. One there and then you.
Can you explain the circumstances of him denying flood relief?